My husband's GPS led me to a motel. And a truth I wasn't ready for. Chapter 1, the GPS that changed everything. If someone had told me a month ago that my perfect marriage was a lie, I would have laughed in their face. But now? I was sitting in my car, staring at the cheap motel parking lot, my heart pounding so hard I could barely breathe. It all started with something small. A tiny mistake. A glitch in the system. My husband, Daniel, had always been predictable. He was a software engineer, obsessed with routine. Wake up at 6 a.m., gym, work, home by 6:30 p.m., dinner, bed. No surprises. No secrets. At least, that's what I thought. But one night, he left his phone unlocked on the kitchen counter. And for the first time in years, I got curious. I wasn't looking for anything specific. Just scrolling through his apps when I noticed something strange. His Google Maps history was open. And the most recent location? Sunset Motel. It wasn't on his usual route. In fact, it was 30 minutes away from his office. I felt a chill run down my spine. I clicked it. Not once. Not twice. But 4 different dates showed up. All recent. My stomach twisted. I wanted to believe there was a logical explanation. A work meeting? A friend in trouble? But something in my gut told me otherwise. So the next day, I did something I never thought I'd do. I followed him. Chapter 2, the motel. Daniel left work at exactly 5:30 p.m., just like always. But instead of heading home, he took an unexpected left turn. I gripped the steering wheel tighter. For 30 minutes, I followed him, staying a few cars behind, my pulse hammering in my ears. And then, finally, he pulled into the parking lot of Sunset Motel. I parked down the street, my breath shallow, hands shaking. He got out of his car, checked his phone, and walked toward room 214. My vision blurred. My worst fear was coming true. He was cheating on me. For a few minutes, I just sat there, frozen, trying to gather the courage to confront him. My whole body was trembling as I stepped out of my car and walked toward the room. The door was slightly ajar. I took a deep breath and pushed it open. And what I saw? It wasn't what I expected. Not even close. Chapter 3, The Secret Life. Inside the motel room, my husband wasn't with another woman. He was sitting on the edge of the bed, looking anxious. Across from him? A teenage girl. She was around 17 or 18, wearing a hoodie, her arms crossed tightly over her chest. Daniel was speaking softly to her, his voice calm. "You don't have to go back. I'll figure something out." My heart was hammering. I had prepared myself for a mistress. A betrayal. But this? I stepped inside, my voice shaking. "Daniel, what the hell is going on?" He turned pale when he saw me. "Ava, what are you doing here?" The girl flinched. I looked between them. "Who is she?" For a long moment, Daniel didn't answer. Then, finally, he exhaled. "She's my daughter." I stumbled backward. "What?" The girl looked away, her face blank. Daniel rubbed his face. "I was going to tell you. I swear." I couldn't breathe. "Tell me what?" He swallowed hard. "Her name is Mia. She's from a relationship I had before I met you. I didn't know she existed until a few months ago." My hands were shaking. "You've been sneaking around behind my back for months? Meeting your secret child in a motel?" Mia's jaw tightened. "I'm not a secret." Her voice was sharp, full of resentment. I looked at Daniel. "Explain. Now." Chapter 4, The Truth That Broke Me. Daniel's hands were trembling as he spoke. "Her mother, Angela, never told me. We were young. She moved away before she even knew she was pregnant. And I had no idea, until a few months ago." My stomach churned. "And you didn't think to tell me?" He looked down. "I wanted to. But Angela died a few weeks ago." The words hit me like a punch to the gut. "She had no one," he whispered. "She was going to end up in foster care. So I told her I'd help." I turned to Mia, my heart aching. She was staring at the floor, blinking fast like she was trying not to cry. "How long has she been staying here?" I asked. Daniel hesitated. 2 weeks. I felt like the ground was crumbling beneath me. I had spent 3 years with this man. I thought I knew everything about him. But he had a daughter. A daughter he hid from me. Chapter 5, The Decision. For a long time, none of us spoke. Mia shifted uncomfortably. "I can leave. I don't need help." Daniel turned to her, his voice firm. "You're not going anywhere." I was still trying to process everything. The lies. The secrecy. The fact that my husband had been sneaking away for weeks, not for an affair, but for something so much bigger. Finally, I took a deep breath. "You should have told me." Daniel met my gaze, his eyes filled with guilt. "I know. I was scared." I looked at Mia. She was tough, but I could see the pain in her eyes. The uncertainty. I exhaled, my voice softer. You don't have to stay in a motel. Mia's eyes snapped to mine. Daniel blinked. What? I crossed my arms. She's your daughter, Daniel. If she needs a home, she's coming with us. Mia looked startled. Like she hadn't expected that. Neither had I. But in that moment, I realized something. I didn't know if I could ever fully trust Daniel again. But Mia? She was innocent in all of this. And I wasn't going to let her be another secret. Epilogue, a new beginning? It's been a month since that night. Mia moved in with us. It's awkward, tense, and full of silent stares. But she's trying. So am I. As for my marriage? I don't know yet. Some days, I think I can forgive Daniel. Other days, the betrayal still burns. But one thing is certain. If he ever lies to me again, he'll lose us both.